Why older hearts make the best listeners, have you ever noticed? That the older we get, the less we feel the need to talk, and the more we want to listen. When we were young, we wanted to be heard. We wanted to explain, to argue, to prove ourselves right. But with age, something changes. The heart softens, the ego quiets, and we begin to understand that being truly listened to is one of the greatest gifts we can offer another human being. I've always believed that older hearts make the best listeners, not because they have all the answers, but because they've lived enough to know that sometimes answers aren't what people need. Sometimes they just need to be seen, to be heard, to be felt, without judgment. I remember a woman named Evelyn, 78 years old, who lived in a small retirement home in Oregon. Every afternoon, she'd sit by the big front window, the one that faced the garden, in her soft blue sweater and her favorite reading glasses. People would walk by, staff, visitors, sometimes a nurse rushing between rooms, and Evelyn would always look up, smile gently and say, "How are you doing today, dear?" And somehow, people always stopped. They stopped because she made them feel like their answer mattered. She wasn't trying to fix them. She wasn't waiting for her turn to speak. She simply listened with her whole presence. And after they spoke, Evelyn would say only one thing: "Thank you for trusting me with your story." That's it. No advice, no interruptions, just gratitude. And yet, many said that talking to her made them feel lighter, calmer somehow, healed. That's the power of an older heart. It listens not with the ears, but with the soul. You see, listening isn't about staying silent. It's about being still. And stillness, the kind that makes another person feel safe, is something only time can teach us. When we're young, our minds race ahead. We want to solve things, to fix what's broken. But with age, we learn that not everything is meant to be fixed. Some things are simply meant to be felt. It's the difference between hearing a storm and sitting through it with someone. Holding an umbrella together, one is noise, the other is presence. As the years pass, we begin to realize something profound. Everyone we meet is carrying something. A loss they never spoke of, a regret that still whispers in the dark, a fear they hide behind a smile. And maybe that's why older people make such gentle listeners, because we've carried our own stories too. We've had our share of mistakes, heartbreaks, and silent nights. And we know that life doesn't always need explanations. It needs compassion. When you've lived long enough, you understand that pain doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like a quiet sigh at dinner. Sometimes it hides behind a cheerful, "I'm fine." And so, you listen more carefully, not to respond, but to understand. There's a beautiful calm that comes with aging. It's not the kind of calm that comes from having an easy life. It's the calm that comes from surviving many storms and realizing that not every wave needs to be fought. Some just need to be watched with patience. Listening is like that. It's a practice of patience. It's a form of love that asks nothing in return. I once met a retired teacher. Mr. Howard, 72, he told me that after retiring, he started volunteering at a community center. He wasn't teaching, not anymore. He was just there. People would sit next to him, and he'd listen. He said, "I've learned more about people in these quiet afternoons than I did in 40 years of teaching." I asked him why, and he smiled. "Because now," he said, "I'm not trying to teach them anything. I'm just here to understand." What a beautiful way to describe growing old, not as a time of decline, but as a time of deeper understanding. You see, when we stop trying to prove ourselves, we start connecting more deeply with others. And that's one of the quiet miracles of aging. When we're young, we listen to reply. When we grow older, we listen to relate. And when our hearts mature, truly mature, we listen to love. There's no competition in love, no winning or losing, just presence. And presence, my friend, is what so many people are starving for today. In a world full of notifications, noise, and constant talking. An older person who listens is like a candle in a dark room. Their silence glows with understanding. Their eyes say, "You matter. You are safe here." Maybe that's why grandchildren often feel so free talking to their grandparents. It's not because grandparents always give the best advice, though sometimes they do. It's because their love feels unconditional. Grandparents listen with time, with patience, with a heart that says, "I've been where you are." I remember a story from a man named Robert, 81 years old. His grandson, 16, had become distant, quiet, always locked away in his room. One evening, Robert found him sitting on the porch, staring into the dark, and the boy said softly, "Grandpa, I feel like nobody really knows me." Robert didn't rush to comfort him. He didn't say, "Oh, that's not true." He just placed a hand on the boy's shoulder and said, "Tell me more, son." "I'm listening." They sat there for hours. The boy talked about school, pressure, friends, loneliness, and for the first time in months, he cried. From that day on, every Thursday became their coffee afternoon. No phones, no distractions, just talk. Sometimes about deep things, sometimes about nothing at all. But that small ritual of listening built a bridge that changed them both. Robert told me later, "I thought I was helping him, but really, he was healing me too." That's what listening does. It doesn't just comfort others. It brings peace to our own hearts. There's something sacred about being trusted with another person's words, especially in old age, when we understand how fragile words can be. We've learned that sometimes people don't need us to solve their problems. They just need to know they're not alone in them. And maybe that's why listening feels lighter as we grow older, because we no longer carry the need to fix everything. We simply hold space, and that's enough. When you think about it, every deep relationship in life, every marriage that lasted, every friendship that endured, was built on this quiet foundation: listening. Think of all the arguments that could have been softened, the misunderstandings that could have been avoided. If only someone had said, "I want to understand you. Tell me what you're feeling." As we age, we begin to see this more clearly. We realize that communication isn't about words. It's about connection, and connection only happens when someone feels heard. So, when we listen, really listen, we are saying, "You are important to me. You belong." That, my friend, might be the most healing sentence in the world. There's another layer to this. Something quiet, but powerful. Listening isn't just about other people. It's also about learning to listen to ourselves. With age, we start hearing our own inner voice more clearly. That small, calm voice that says, "It's okay to rest. It's okay to forgive. It's okay to let go." You can't hear that voice when you're always rushing. But as life slows down, it begins to whisper again, and listening to it brings peace that no medicine can give. So perhaps older hearts make the best listeners, not only for others, but for their own souls, because they've learned the art of quiet, and in quiet, we hear what really matters. I once read about a woman named Clara, 84, who sat every weekend in a small park by Lake Michigan. Next to her chair, she placed a wooden sign that read, "I'll listen." No advice, no judgment, and just heart. At first, people walked by, smiling politely, but soon, more and more started stopping. A young mother overwhelmed by life, a teenager who'd lost a friend, an old man who just missed his wife. They'd sit beside Clara, talk, cry, sometimes say nothing at all, and she'd simply hold their hand and listen. When a local journalist once asked her why she did it, she smiled and said, "When I was younger, I wanted so badly for someone to listen to me. Now I can give that gift to others, and you know what? I've never felt stronger." Her words stayed with me, because that's the quiet paradox of aging. The world may think you're slowing down, but your heart, your wisdom, your compassion, they only grow deeper. If you've ever doubted your worth in this world, if you've ever felt that your voice doesn't matter anymore, remember this. You have something rare, something people of every age crave but often can't give, the ability to listen with love. Listening doesn't require youth, or strength, or perfect hearing. It requires presence. And presence is born from experience, from years of watching, feeling, learning. You've walked through decades of life. You've heard laughter and grief, promises and silence. You've seen how words can hurt and how they can heal. That makes your listening sacred. So perhaps the next time someone, a child, a friend, a neighbor, begins to talk, pause, look them in the eyes, put away the urge to fix, to compare, to interrupt, and just be there. Because maybe what they're really saying is, please see me. Please hear me. And maybe what your presence is quietly answering is, I do. The older we grow, the softer our hearts become, not weaker. Softer, because we've learned that gentleness is not fragility, it's strength refined by love. A younger heart might beat fast, but an older heart beats steady, steady enough to feel another's rhythm, steady enough to listen beyond words. So yes, older hearts make the best listeners because they don't listen to respond, they listen to understand. And through that understanding, they remind us all what it means to be human. As this reflection comes to an end, take a deep breath. Think of someone who needs to be heard today. Maybe a family member, a friend, or even yourself. Call them. Visit them. Sit beside them. And when they speak, listen. Not with your ears, but with your heart. You'll be amazed at how healing it feels. For both of you. Because sometimes, love doesn't need to be spoken. It only needs to be heard. Closing message. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs gentle company today. Leave a comment. Tell us your own story about being listened to, or listening to someone with love. And if you'd like more moments of calm reflection and wisdom, subscribe to Elder Wisdom, where every story reminds us that growing older is not the end of our light. It's when we finally learn how to shine softly,